All we know is, Waku was taken out of his room sometime between 7:50 when he was last seen, and 8:30 when everyone noticed he was gone. During that 40-minute span, somebody suffocated Waku and stuffed him into the laundry bin. Nobody suspected there was a body in the cart. And the only clear culprit was Okubo, the man in charge of the laundry. To further back this up, DNA evidence from Waku was found in Okubo's truck. Then when the police questioned Okubo, he confessed to burying the body in the mountains of Okutama. 3 months after the crime, Waku's corpse was finally found. With me? This thing's airtight, Yagami. I know you're getting into this, but come on. Just give it up already. You don't have a chance.
Even though Okubo says he's innocent, I promised him we'd do everything we could.
Not my problem. You shouldn't make promises you can't keep.
That is true.
Fine, then I'll do it alone. You don't have to be involved.
Even if I'm not, the loss will hurt Genda-sensei's reputation.
I'm sorry, but our client says he's innocent. I can't back down from this.
Fine. I'll be in the lobby.
If you like, I could take you to see Waku-san's room again.
You don't mind? That would be great.
Ooh. Okay, awesome. Here I am again. Don't see anything out of the ordinary, though. Okay. Well, we're still investigating everything, everybody. Hopefully we'll find something in particular. Oh.
Waku-san was here until the morning of the incident. Then he just up and disappeared.
And there's no way.
Window sealed shut. There's no way Waku-san could have escaped through here.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how well you can see in here from the hallway.
Okay, do we talk to her? Yes, we do. Okay, cool.
Are you finished?
Yeah, well, no, I'm gonna keep looking.
Not yet.
I think that's all we can really do. Was there something else here? Doesn't seem to be anything in particular, so I'm just gonna say yes, we're done.
Yeah, I've seen what I need. Anything else you can share?
How long will Okubo-san's sentence be?
Huh?
If he's found guilty, that is.
Probably 10 years.
Oh, did she
maybe
have the
more.
hots for him?
It's hard to say for sure.
And what if he confesses? Would they shorten his sentence?
Well, at the very least, it'd make a better impression than insisting he didn't do it.
But you're still going to push an innocent plea? Even though Okubo-san is the one who'll suffer for it?
If he's really not guilty, he won't have to. I'll win. But to be perfectly honest, this is my first criminal case.
What?
Civil cases have been a mixed bag for me, too. I've actually lost more than I've won.
Is that so?
Oh, she's
Apparently,
worried,
a
see?
smart lawyer would never even consider an innocent plea in this case. Guess it's a good thing that I'm not so smart then, because I honestly believe I can win. Terasawa-san, were you close to Okubo-kun?
I spoke to him pretty often, yes. I would see him around the ward all the time.
And what did you think of him? Did he seem like the kind of guy who'd do something like this?
I'm sorry. The director told us not to say too much.
Oh?
Wait! If you know anything that can help, just get in touch, okay? I'll do whatever it takes to set Okubo-kun free. But I can't do it alone. Just give it some thought, Terasawa-san. Just now, we went to the ADDC. Thought I should have a look at things with my own eyes.
And? How did it go?
There's no chance you walk. You're practically a lost cause.
Hey.
Damn.
Yagami-sensei, is that what you think?
It's like this, Okubo. You tell me you're innocent, and I'll fight to the end. I really have nothing to lose by helping you out.
It's just like I told you. Whoever did it is framing me.
Shinpei Okubo.
On the day of the crime, you were in the general ward at the ADDC, yes? Starting at 8 a.m., you went around to each room and gathered the linens.
Yes. Nobody would dispute that.
And after that, you covered Wakusan's nose and mouth, suffocated him, and then carted him out in a laundry bin.
That's not true. Wakusan wasn't there when I went into his room. I didn't see him at all that day. You have to believe me.
And I do. So when you went down to leave the center at 10 a.m. after gathering the linens, you realized there was a body hidden in the truck.
Yes. That's what happened.
Then, after debating whether or not to report the body, you chose to hide it in the mountains.
That's gonna be a huge hurdle to climb in the trial.
I had a criminal assault on my record. I knew the police would have suspected me if I went to them.
Aren't you forgetting the bad blood you had with Wakusan?
Aren't you forgetting that the police will just immediately assume that you're a bad person and you do bad things? Even if your record's clean. Especially if your record's not clean. They're not here to help you.
Huh? Bad blood? What are you talking about?
3 days before the murder, Wakusan claimed Okubo-kun here punched him and stole his wallet. They told me all about it at the center.
When did you even ask?
While you were busy chatting up Terasawa-chan. Even if I bitch about it, I'm still damn good at my job.
Well, Okubo-kun, did you take his wallet, or...?
Not quite. They call it delusion of theft. It's a symptom of dementia. You think something's been stolen from you, then blame the first person you see. Not the easiest thing to deal with, right? Someone accuses you of theft for no reason? Must have been a shock. So when Wakusan tried to hit you, you just about hit him back.
But I didn't hit him.
No. You murdered him.
I wouldn't kill a man over something like that.
Ah, I wish I could believe you, pal. Come on, Okubo-kun. You got a record of violence.
It wasn't me. I swear. Somebody set me up. Please, you have to believe me. Whoever did this is laughing at all of us right now.
Calm down.
How could he calm down? Literally the one person he could turn to is like, you fucking did it, bitch.
Do you believe me?
I do.
Okay. Then next time, come alone.
Fine. I can take a hint. You and Yagami-sensei can cuddle up all you want.
Hey, you know that nurse, Terasawa-san? Cute girl. It sounded like she was worried about you. Bet you'd have a chance with her once you get out of here.
Aw.
I don't know. If you'll excuse me.
He's feeling really depressed. I mean, honestly, how couldn't you not? Like, damn. Some harsh things to say to somebody.
So Shintani just left you hanging, huh? He's gotta learn some damn patience.
Maybe so. But this is my case now. I can handle it myself.
Huh. Okay.
Right. Can we talk to him some more? No? We get to see a younger...
Yagami-san.
Hmm?
Have you seen Mafia lately?
Well, where's this coming from?
She's just not that great with men. I suggest you be more assertive.
Right. Okay.
You mean that friend of yours, Saori-kun? She's got Shintani all riled up. Said he'd have been nicer to you if he knew you had friends who looked like her. Jackass.
Hey, nothing's official yet, guys. Regardless, keep it on the down low, okay?
Oh my god.
Yet? That word says more than you think.
I love her so much. I love her voice. She's so cute. She does a cute little laugh. I love it. I will never not love her. We could date her. I'm gonna fucking date her. I'm gonna date the bejeebus
I'll
out of
keep
her.
my lips sealed.
Yeah.
Mafia Kun's a prosecutor, right? Isn't it kind of taboo for her to date a defense attorney?
Can we not do this?
Either way, guess the Okubo case comes first. Pleading innocent, yeah?
That's the plan.
What is your plan here? This isn't gonna be an easy win.
Well, I'm working on that. There's one piece of evidence that still bothers me.
Yeah? And what's that?
What should I focus on if I want to prove Okubo innocent? Victim's body fluids. Upon further investigation, the police found traces of the victim's bodily fluids in Okubo's truck bed. Subsequent DNA tests proved that the fluids belonged to Waku. Such evidence suggests that Okubo was behind the murder. Waku, an elderly ADDC patient, was diagnosed with a major neurotic disorder after suffering through worsening stages of Alzheimer's disease. As such, he's been hospitalized for 2 years. His body had already begun to decompose by the time it was found in the mountains of Okutama. Therefore, it can be assumed that he died during or immediately after the moment he went missing. Further details regarding the case of death remains unknown, but the victim is believed to have died from suffocation. A view of Waku's hospital room, as seen through the window, his bed pillow is locked on the left side of the mattress. I think this is what we need to focus on, is the hallway. The window in the hospital room where Waku stayed, the window doesn't open, so nobody could have gone through it. Thus, it could be deducted that the only way into and out of the room was through the hallway door. A panoramic view of the hospital room where the elderly patient named Waku had stayed for 2 years. However, he suddenly disappeared from the hospital and was found buried in the mountains of Okutama 3 months ago. A laundry cart used to collect bed sheets at the ADDC's hospital wing, large enough to hide a body inside. Many people witnessed Okubo, ADDC Lynn worker, pushing said cart on the morning Waku disappeared from this hospital. I think it's the hallway.
Take a look at this. It's the hospital room the victim was staying in. This is the last place Waku-san was seen before he disappeared. At the time, the witness would have seen Waku-san from this angle through the window in the door, but the cabinet here would have been blocking his face.
Uh-huh.
In other words, there's room to argue that the witness never actually saw Waku-san to begin with. It might have just looked like there was somebody in there. Or maybe the killer set it up to look that way.
And how would that impact the trial?
Well, the premise that the victim was still alive at 8 o'clock would no longer be on the table. Meaning, the crime could have occurred during a much wider time range. With that in mind, we could claim there's no proof that Okubo took Waku-san out of the room.
I see where he's getting at. Basically, just because you could see through that window doesn't mean the same person was there. It could have been at any point in time. So the killer could have disguised himself as Waku. Oh, that's good.
Right. Not bad.
What the hell's your problem?
Was that Shintani?
I think so.
Get back here!
Oh?
That bastard. Oh, he's eavesdropping on you.
What the hell?
I tried to stop him, but he pulled a stun gun on me.
Yeah, I definitely think Shitani is actually a pretty good...
Wait up!
Oh! I think that's the nurse! Oh, yo, this is so cool!
Hold up!
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. It's you. What? Oh, jeez. Come on. My god, how did you get through that way? Fuck. Oh, jeez. How are you still so fast? Oh my god. I'm like right by you. Okay, good. Fuck. Oh shit. No, I lost it. I lost it. I lost it. I lost it. That was a cool ass thing too. Come on. I guess there's something still though. Yeah.
A woman?
Good detective.
Help! Someone help me!
Aren't you Terasawa-san?
Let me go!
We got a groper out here? Scum of the earth!
Oh damn, Yakuza's was actually helping them.
Not on my watch, you son of a bitch!
Street thugs. But why wouldn't she just leave after this? Okay, I don't have anything. It's fine. It's fair. Okay, so there's a lot of them, so I should probably like do this. Stop with your things. Jeez. Ooh, that was a nice clean hit all over. Thank you kindly. Get it, you bastards. Ooh, that was good stuff. Gosh, like, we're so good. We're so. Oh my god. Oh, look at that whirlwind. That was cool as hell. There you go. She's still right there. She decided just to wait there then, huh? Girl, we're investigating you.
Can all lawyers fight like that?
Now he's like holding the hand. Like, don't fucking talk, you bitch.
Did you really need to run away like that? I assume you came to see me.
There was something I wanted to talk to you about, yes. But I wasn't sure if I should. Then that pig-headed friend of yours started shouting, so I just lost it.
Okay, but did you
Valid.
have to tase him?
Yes.
Not that he didn't have it coming. Anyway, I'm listening if you want to talk. No matter what it is, I'll keep your secret. Anything you tell me will fall under client attorney privilege.
Well, you know the witness who last saw Waku-san? Said he saw him sleeping in his bed.
Uh-huh.
Well, that witness is a man by the name of Shono-san. He's one of the scientists at the ADDC.
Oh.
Not only that, but he's the director's right-hand man, too.
Oh. Well then.
And this is him?
Pretty much your run-of-the-mill researcher.
Yes. He's a very dedicated doctor, so the nurses have a lot of faith in him. But something felt off when I heard what he had to say about the incident.
And what's that?
I guess I'm just skeptical as to whether or not he actually saw Waku-san. I don't think he's intentionally deceiving us, but he may be mistaken somehow. And if I had to guess, I'd say the other nurses feel the same.
Still, why hasn't anyone mentioned this until now?
How could we? Nurses talking about a doctor behind his back? that's not something a nurse could do without consequences. And if it
This
came
is
to a
true.
courtroom testimony,
None of you would testify?
maybe the other nurses wouldn't, but I would. I never really fit in over there anyway. Besides,
Yeah?
I think Okubo-san is innocent.
Oh, really? Sounds like I've finally got an ally on my team.
Tokyo District Courthouse.
I'm currently employed as a researcher at the Advanced Drug Development Center. Part of our research consists of clinical tests we perform on patients in the general ward of the center. On the day of the crime, I was making my usual rounds through the ward.
This motherfucker did it. Yoji Shono.
And what time was that?
It's the ears. Don't trust him.
Around 7:50.
Dumbo ass motherfucker.
You're sure?
Yes, the patients eat breakfast at precisely 8 o'clock. I always head to the break room myself, right around then too.
Oh, that's
This break room,
Yagami's
to be
ex.
precise?
That's correct. Our more mobile patients walk there for breakfast instead of eating in their own rooms. Then, while the nurses help the patients eat, I ask about how they feel and how the medicine is treating them.
And on the day of Waku-san's disappearance, you passed by his room before going to the break room?
Yes,
And in that room, you saw Waku-san lying on the bed.
yes.
Can you describe the situation to us as you remember it?
The door has a window, so you can see into the room from the hallway.
And this is the room you're referring to, yes?
That's correct. From where I was standing in the hallway, I could see Waku-san lying in bed. He was asleep, with a blanket covering most of his body.
And what time was that?
Around 7:50.
No further questions.
mm-hmm.
Yagami-sensei, why did you call her to the stand?
She actually asked to testify. Is that a problem?
Not really, no.
My chance for a comeback.
Terasawa-san, you were present for Shono-san's testimony just now, yes?
Yes,
And what is your opinion on that testimony?
for a scientist, I felt his wording was rather imprecise. And as a
Yep.
medical professional, I felt his actions were negligent.
Could I ask you
Get
to be
him.
a little more specific?
Get him!
Our witness, Shono-san, claims he saw Waku-san sleeping in his bed during his morning rounds. However, there's no way he could have known that just by looking in from the hallway.
I have evidence supporting Terasawa-san's testimony.
Shono shouldn't have been able to see Waku. I have evidence to prove that. There you go.
Please look at this. It's a photograph of the victim's room as viewed from the hallway. In other words, this is what Shono-san would have seen when he checked in on Waku-san.
This evidence points to this fact. Culprit was hiding in the hospital room. Shono's testimony was a lie. The culprit is Shono, who claims to be the witness. The victim was already dead. The culprit was hiding. Shono's testimony was a lie. Yeah, that is the most likely, because the rest of these are presumptions. This one is just the truth. It's a lie in the sense that he didn't know Waku was there.
Shono-san was lying when he said he saw Waku-san in the bed.
Excuse me?
What he saw from the door was likely nothing more than a bulge of sheets. He couldn't have been able to identify it specifically as Waku-san. So to claim as much in his testimony seems like quite an exaggeration, don't you think?
But common sense would dictate otherwise, would it not? Who would be in the bed other than Waku-san?
The killer.
Staff nurses are trained to always enter a room when checking in on a patient. In Waku-san's case, it's impossible to tell anything just by looking in from the hallway. There was actually one time a while back where we thought he was under the covers, only to find Waku-san eating in the break room a second later. And upon re-examining the room, we realized that we had mistaken a bunched-up pillow for Waku-san.
The witness makes an important distinction. The prosecution asserts that Shono-san's testimony is clear, that the victim was taken out of his room at some point between 7:50 and 8:30 in the morning. They claim that because of this time frame, the defendant must have smuggled Waku-san's body out in his laundry bin.
That's why Okubo-kun was assumed to be the only person who could kill Waku-san.
But if Shono-san's testimony is invalid, as the defense asserts, we have to consider the possibility that Waku-san was taken in the middle of the night when nobody else was around.
Yep.
After which, the killer could have waited until the morning to plant the body in the defendant's truck. In other words, the defense establishes that there is reasonable doubt that Okubo-san is the killer, rendering the prosecution's central argument unsound. Your Honor, taking this new testimony into account, I'd like to call Shono-san back to the stand for cross-examination. Shono-san.
Yes?
See how Shono responds with evidence in Terusawa's testimony out in the open.
I'll get right to the point. On the day of the crime, what did you see when you looked into Waku-san's room?
I saw Waku-san asleep in his bed, I think.
And did you get a clear look at his face?
I don't remember.
So it's possible that it could have been someone other than Waku-san in that bed. Or maybe even a pillow that you mistook to be Waku-san's body.
Yeah, get him.
Isn't that
Get him.
right?
Objection! The defense is leading the witness.
Oh, they didn't do it right. There's
Please
supposed to be like a
rephrase the
loud word
question.
bubble.
Shono-san, can you say without a doubt that Waku-san was in that bed when you checked on him?
I don't think I can, no.
Then the defense rests. But I do have a quick remark for the prosecution.
Huh?
Prosecution's argument was falling apart. I go in for the kill.
The charges against my client stem from your assertion that he's the only possible suspect, assuming the crime took place within the stated time frame. However, the defense has proven without a doubt that Shono-san's testimony is unreliable, establishing reasonable doubt for my client. I would suggest then that you withdraw the charges against my client. With such inconclusive evidence, you'll only be wasting the court's precious time.
The prosecution does not consider the witness's testimony inconclusive. His memory of the incident may be fuzzy, yes, but that doesn't change that he saw the victim.
So, your whole case is based on a fuzzy memory? This promising young man's future is at stake, and you're willing to throw that away on unreliable testimony?
Legit.
Dr. Shono is a bright and diligent researcher. After watching his own grandmother develop dementia, he vowed to create a drug that could cure the disease.
I was gonna say right now, I don't believe researchers and doctors are particularly all that enthused to think about their patients for a number of reasons. Mainly, and first and foremost, being that it is a very hard job and it requires a lot of focus that is not based on human interaction. So, yeah. That's why a lot of doctors have bad bed manner, because they're trying to think of the body as a mechanism and how to make you better and everything, not the person itself. I'm not saying all doctors do this, it's just a problem with the field. Same thing with researchers. So it's not a good look. He's not a doctor, he's a researcher. Even more so for him to not actually go into things and whatnot. It's very clear that there's fault in his testimony. You just can't.
After paying his own way through medical school, he went on to become the head researcher at the ADDC.
Yeah, your point being?
Day after day, Dr. Shono visits his sick patients out of the kindness of his heart, leading to his valiant testimony here today. If you want to know
Didn't
whether I
visit him
trust
though.
this man,
He just checked on
then
him.
my answer is a resounding yes.
In other words, because he's such a great researcher, his testimony is infallible. His own admission that he's not sure is somehow overlooked? Is that the sum of it? Because from
This dude's
here,
just taking
it
L's,
sounds
my
like you're
dude.
putting your faith in Shono-san's title, not his testimony today.
The prosecution is not as easily swayed as you think. And you want to talk reputation? What of your client's history of domestic abuse?
Uh-oh. He's gonna bring up Okubo's record.
6 years ago, the defendant broke his girlfriend's finger. The poor girl is still suffering from the effects. And the cause? A minor, drunken disagreement. Now, fast forward to what occurred a few days prior to the crime. Waku-san, suspecting the defendant of stealing his wallet, lashed out and punched the defendant in the face. Given the clearly violent nature of Okubo-san here, that alone would be motivation enough to murder the poor old...
Is something wrong, ma'am? Please remain seated while court is in session.
Is she the girlfriend?
Terasawa-san?
Okubo-san is not a violent person. And he hasn't even had a drink in over 6 years. Not a single drop since the incident.
My court will not stand for this commotion.
He didn't blame Waku-san at all. He knew that the outburst was just caused by his dementia. That it was all the sickness's fault. So there was no reason for him to resort to murder.
Terasawa-san, please.
Okubo-san really is an incredible, caring person.
Please leave this courtroom at once.
You're right that he may be hard to approach, but he's a kind soul, and he always keeps his promises. Okubo-san's not the only person in this courtroom who would be affected by a guilty verdict, either. As a matter of fact, it would break my heart. And even through it all, he wanted me to keep this a secret, not to tell anyone, not even his lawyer, that we were dating.
Oh! So she is the girlfriend. That's something else.
Even though he knew he could have ended up in prison, making sure I was safe was the only thing in the world he cared about. That's just who he is. But when the prosecution has already decided he's a criminal, how could he possibly be given a fair trial?
Yeah, this is the problem with our courts, and with Japan's court especially.
Her little outburst wasn't technically admissible, but as the trial dragged on, it hung over the jury like a stone. And in the end, Shinpei Okubo was found not guilty. But only a month after his release, everything changed.
I think it's because that she
Same
did that
girl who
trial
had so
thing.
bravely proclaimed Okubo's innocence died by the man's own hand.
Yeah, I don't think that actually was. It's because she talked out of line. I'm gonna say this right now. The director did it. That asshole. It's him.
Hi.
Something wrong?
No, it's nothing, Vice Minister.
But
I haven't seen you in about 3 years, Kido-san. I see you're still the director.
You look familiar, but I can't quite place the name. I seem to recall you looking sharper.
I'm a detective based in Kamurocho now. The name's Yagami.
Ah, I remember now. You're the reason Terasawa-kun's no longer with us.
Damn,
Remember,
what a
Shono?
bitch.
Okubo-san was unstoppable. If only my testimony had been better.
Whiny
Shono-san,
asshole.
right?
Does it matter? What brings you here anyway?
I'm investigating a murder, and I'll need your cooperation with it. Just like old times.
Damn!
Yes, I see. Yes. Thank you. It does seem we received a phone call from this Shintani-san you speak of.
Do you know who he was calling?
Dr. Shono.
The same Shono-san you were just with?
Why would Shitani call Shono?
Yes. However, it's unclear as to what the point of the call was meant to be. Shono was away from his desk at the time, you see, and Shintani-san didn't leave a message.
You have no idea what he wanted to talk about?
None. Shono says he doesn't know a Shintani-san, and sees no reason why he would be calling.
Oh, really?
Look, Shono and I co-authored the research paper on AD9. We're quite well known, as it turns out. Sometimes complete strangers pretend to be close friends or relatives in order to contact us.
Yeah, absolutely. This guy did it. He's part of it or something. At least the Okubo thing. I'm getting such villain vibes.
Perhaps Shintani-san fell into that category.
Have you heard of the mole murders taking place in Kamurocho, Dr. Kido? 3 Yakuza, each one with their eyes gouged out. It's a grisly business. Shintani was killed in the same way.
I've seen the news.
Can you think of anything tying the ADDC to those murders?
Huh? Look, just what are you implying? Look, I believe we're done here. There's nothing I can help you with.
Please stop! You can't!
Who are you?
Detective Kuroiwa, Kamuro Police, Organized Crime.
Oh.
One of your guests here has information related to the case I'm currently investigating.
Oh. He's kind of restless, isn't
That
it?
would be you, Yagami.
Hmm?
I'd like to speak to you as a material witness to the murder of the lawyer Masamichi Shintani.
God damn it.
Is that so?
Asshole!